Top Accolade Global News Update. I am Abiodun Mohamed. Outgoing Ecuadorian President Guillermo Lasso has declared a countrywide state of emergency for 60 days in response to the killing of presidential candidate Fernando Villavicencio at a campaign rally in the capital, Quito. Villavicencio, 59, a vocal critic of corruption and organized crime, was killed at a campaign event on Wednesday amid a surge of violence in the Andean nation blamed on drug traffickers. Local media reported some 30 shots had been fired at an event in the north of Quito. Video footage posted on social media showed Villavicencio getting into a car after the event before the sound of apparent gunfire and screaming. The Attorney General's office said one suspect in the crime later died of injuries sustained in a shootout. The violence injured 9 other people, including a candidate for the legislature and 2 police officers. The office later said it had arrested 6 people so far in connection with the crime during raids in Quito. Ecuador's Police and Interior Ministry did not respond to repeated requests for comment about the details of the killing, but Lasso confirmed police safely detonated a grenade left behind by the killers. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un replaced the military's top general and called for more preparations for the possibility of war, a boost in weapons production, and expansion of military drills. State media KCNA reported on Thursday Kim made the comment at a meeting at the Central Military Commission, which discussed plans for countermeasures to deter North Korea's enemies, which it did not name, the report said. The country's top general, Chief of the General Staff Park Soo-il, was dismissed, KCNA reported, without elaborating. He had served in his role for about 7 months. Park was replaced by General Ri Yong-gil, who previously served as the country's defense minister, as well as the top commander of its conventional troops. Ri also previously served as the Army Chief of Staff. When he was replaced in 2016, his sacking and subsequent absence from official events sparked reports in South Korea that he had been executed. He reappeared a few months later when he was named to another senior post. Kim also set a target for the expansion of weapons production capacity, the report said, without providing details. Last week, he visited weapons factories where he called for more missile engines, artillery, and other weapons to be built. A Palestinian armed fighter was shot dead by Israeli forces during a raid on a village near the occupied West Bank town of Nablus. The Palestinian Health Ministry has said Amir Ahmad Khalifa, 27, was shot in the head and in the back after Israeli soldiers stormed the village of Zawata, west of Nablus. He was transferred to the hospital where he was pronounced dead later. Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigade, an armed group associated with the Fatah party, claimed Khalifa, who was a resident of the Ain Beit al-Mar refugee camp, as a member. The Israeli military said that the Palestinian suspect fired at its troops during a, in quote, counter-terrorism activity in Nablus, adding that, in quote, it were identified. Speaking to the AFP news agency, the family member, who requested anonymity for security reasons, said Khalifa was, in quote, wanted by Israeli forces for 2 years and had refused to surrender. On Tuesday, Israeli forces blew up the home of a Palestinian man who allegedly killed 2 settlers last February. Australian police are investigating the death of 3 elderly people who died after allegedly consuming mushrooms at a lunch 2 weeks ago. The mysterious death of the 3 have gripped Australia, with interest only increasing after police on Wednesday searched a local refuse centre for a dehydrator believed to have been used in the preparation of the deadly lunch. On Sunday, police said they had questioned a 48-year-old woman who served the lunch before releasing her without charge. The woman had been hosting her in-laws, Gail and Don Patterson. Both aged 70, the couple died in hospital following the lunch on July 29th in Leongatha, a small rural town about 135 kilometers southeast of Melbourne, police and local media said on Thursday. Also at the lunch were Gail Patterson's sister, Edda Wilkinson, 66, who died, and husband Ian Wilkinson, 68, a Baptist pastor who remains hospitalized this week in a critical condition. The woman who cooked the meal was separated from her husband, but police had been told their relationship was amicable. Her children were also at home during the lunch but did not eat the same meal, police said. China has lifted pandemic-era restrictions on group tours for more countries, including key markets such as the United States, Japan, South Korea, and Australia, in a potential boom for their tourism industries. The decision was announced by China's Culture and Tourism Ministry on Thursday, effective immediately. Prior to the pandemic, mainland Chinese tourists spent more than any other country's tourists when abroad, clocking up a combined $255 billion in 2019, with group tours estimated to account for roughly 60% of that. Their absence since the pandemic has led to financial troubles for many tourism-dependent businesses around the globe. Germany and Britain were also among the countries for which restrictions were lifted, but Canada, which has had especially politically fraught relations with China of late, was not reinstated. It was China's third list of countries to receive approvals. The first batch, approved in January, included 20 countries such as Thailand, Russia, Cuba, and Argentina. The second batch, in March, included 40 countries, among them Nepal, France, Portugal, and Brazil. That is the size of top accolade global news updates. You can follow us on our social media platforms as displayed on your screen. Happy Thursday.